What's been your experience with lobbying? So like on the receiving end, have people came to you with a bunch of money saying, hey, if you could pass this one bill that makes it so gambling gambling loss is 100% write-off. Then
bring the gambling age down to 15.
Bring the gambling age. Yeah.
So first, I'm not presently in control of government. So if anyone wants to send me money to lobby for the government,
Venmo?
like
Bitcoin address,
feel free to send on over. That said, I've actually had breakfast with for as an example, a U.S. senator who was there to get lobbied, and so each person at the breakfast, myself accepted, had donated between $5,000 and $10,000 to have breakfast with the senator, and each person went around the table is like, hey. We're trying to get what the export tax lower. It's like, hey, we're trying to get a subsidy for this. And the senator was bored out of his mind. He was like, oh my God, this breakfast sucks. And then I was there lobbying for, anti-poverty measures, and he perked up. He was like, oh, I actually don't mind talking about this. But there's this lobbying industrial complex in DC, and lobbying pays off huge. I think someone did a study and found that the return on lobbying investment is something like 1,700%. In other words, if I put, 20 million into lobbying, I'm going to get 17x. I'm going to suggest that everyone here would make that investment 5 ways from Sunday.
Wow, that's crazy.
And so smart companies are lobbying, and our political system right now is highly subject to it.
Any other experience though? Because this is the type of stuff that everyone, if they think about the conspiracy theories and how there's some rooms that they don't have access to, and it's what all the powerful people are doing, and there's massive, 7-digit numbers being wired from one person to another, so
or
they
you
can
just
sneak
see
this
people
bill in.
Where they just say, hey, this was their salary, and then all of a sudden they buy like a $9 million house. So how did this person go from zero to like $9 million house and these bills passed?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, and am I, have I been in rooms where I'm like, I have a feeling, and I also will say too, you have these members of Congress and senators who everyone they hang out with is loaded. That's one of the things I will say too. And then they're the center of attention. And so then the people that are around them that are loaded, it's like, hey, but get you in on this deal. Hey, like I've got this tip for you. And then the member's like, ooh, I have all these fancy friends who want to help elevate my way of life. Some of them have private planes. Be like, hey, you want to take this trip to like blah, blah, blah. And so that is pervasive. It's all the time. And the American people have picked up on that.
But then how does the money end up in the government official's pocket? Because there's a difference donating to a campaign where the money has to be spent on campaigning.
Yep.
But then how come everyone goes into office, they come out a few years later, and they're worth $50 million?
So the member all the time is getting pitched various deals, and it's like, look, this is like a special insidery deal, and I just want you to reverse position. Let's say I was like a big shot real estate investor. I had some sweet real estate investment where I'm like, ooh, this thing's going to yield, 500, 1,000%. I'm pretty confident in it. And you knew a member of Congress, would you be like, look, just put a bit of money into this deal and you're going to get 5 to 10x? You probably would, because that member of Congress is going to love you and take your calls forever and thank you. And so that's what's happening, is that the member is getting access to all sorts of sweetheart deals because on the other end, someone wants access and influence.
But then why is that not made public? Like, that seems like if you polled all Americans, let's say we have 400 million Americans, I would say maybe less than 10% would disagree with making all of that information public.
Yeah, totally. I mean, so 75% of Americans are for something called term limits, as an example, because we think people should maybe do their job and come home and not just make a perma career out of it. 83% of Americans are for trying to get some money out of politics because we can sense that everyone's getting bought and sold. The problem, and I've actually given a TED talk on this topic. I don't know if it was part of your research. That popular will is now getting refracted in a way that we're not actually getting any of those things. Like, I can give you a bunch of things that 75 to 85% of Americans are for, and we're not getting them. But what you're saying is totally correct. I mean, everyone would love transparency, and everyone would love to go through both members' investment deals and government expenditures with a fine-tooth comb. We'd find all sorts of crazy stuff.
How common is insider trading? I love these accounts that break down like Polymarket and 𝗪𝗪, and they say like, hey, this trader has 100% success rate. Just put like $50,000 on this obscure thing to happen.
Yeah, again, they're getting. So I'm not going to pretend I have all the access that a senator has or whatnot. But even I sometimes catch wind of various things that are going to happen before they happen. It's like my joke is, I don't know if you guys play basketball, but like one of the things people say is like just be around the hoop. You're around the hoop that sometimes the ball comes to, and like get a cheap two. So I would describe myself as being sort of hoop adjacent, but there are various officials who are just like standing underneath the hoop, and they catch wind of everything. I mean, if you're on certain committees, like you see all these deals that are happening before they happen, before they get announced, like all the time. And then the very natural thing is to be like, hey, I hear this deal's happening, and then it could be your wife, it could be a family member, just an elbow. I mean, that stuff's, I'm sure,
if you could just let us know, we will not take advantage of it. If you tell us, you got information about something's going to happen.
Tell Jack.
We're not going to take advantage of it.
I'm sure you would never do such a thing.
Of course not.
And you would never then share it with your listeners. Another reason to tune in.
Behind the paywall, of course. So you got to pay.
See,
Join
look at this.
membership.
Premium content. That's the definition of premium content.
We do have a membership.
Yeah, we have a membership.
We do have a membership, which is great. It really helps us out a lot and supports our editor, Mikey.
So did you ever get one crazy lobbying offer where they were like, hey, we'll take you on a private jet, first class vacation? I guess that's
Hawaii.
We're going to take you over here.
Class.
Private jet, first class. They wanted to offer you a bunch of money in order to slip something through the bill.
I have been I've been offered like all expense paid luxury trips and things of that nature for people that wanted to get me on board with their interests or cause. Like that sort of thing has happened, but no one's ever gone so blatant and just been like, here's a check for like X size for you to do our bidding. It hasn't gotten to that point. It's possible if I'd said yes to the luxury trip, that check would have been waiting for me. but,
life insurance is one of those things that makes sense for a lot of people out there, but most people just put it off because it feels complicated, expensive, or time-consuming, but it doesn't have to be, thanks to our sponsor, Fabric.
Fabric by Gerber Life is term life insurance that you can get done today. It's made for busy parents like you. It's all online. It's on your schedule, right from your couch. You could be covered in under 10 minutes with no health exam required.
If you have kids, and especially if you're young and healthy, the time to lock in a low rate is now. And even if you have life insurance through your employer, it may not offer you enough protection for your family, and it usually does not follow you if you leave your job. Fabric offers flexible, high-quality policies that fit your family and your budget, including options like $1 million in coverage for less than $1 a day.
Fabric is partnered with Gerber Life, trusted by millions of families for over 50 years. There's no risk, and they even have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can cancel at any time. Fabric also has free digital wills, tools to invest in your kid's future, and more, all right from your phone.
Join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to protect their family. Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/ICHclips.
Again, that's meetfabric.com/ICHclips. MEET fabric.com/ICHclips. The link is also down below in the description. Enjoy.